Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment. And a fantastic article came out in The Independent in the UK, and it was called, Why Are There So Many Men in the Rings of Power? What? Why is there so many men? Oh, good God. So this idiot named James Moore wrote this article. It looks like he's never been touched by a woman. And he writes, Why are there so many men in the Rings of Power? Female characters these days do more than bring warriors their post-battle beers. But they still don't exist in worlds where they are half the population. I'm starting to get a feeling dipshit here never watched Rings of Power. Because all it is woman power. Dear Jesus. Let's have a small look at just a bit of what he says, because you have to register to read this shit. And I am my whole doing that. So it's granddaddy of franchises. And yes, I'm using the male gender there because, and he calls it the Lord of the Rings, almost completely ignores just over 50% of the human population. Women barely get a look in, with the notable exception of Erwin, the slayer of the biggest nasty of the ring rates, and Gladriel. Jesus Christ. And then I have seen the rest of the article. Again, I'm not paying or even registering to read the rest of it. But let's just break down what dipshit here has said. Why, oh why, is there no women in the goddamn Rings of Power? Did you not watch the Rings of Power? All the fucking leaders are women. I'll say that again. All the leaders are women. Gladriel is leading everyone everywhere because she's on a quest of vengeance. The character of Bronwyn, you know, the flower picker, all of a sudden becomes the leader of an army to fight against the orcs. As opposed to the guy who fought against orcs standing right behind her. Now don't worry about him. She's the boss. What about, what's her name? Mariel. The Queen Regent. Name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? She's the fucking queen, basically. Who leads the armies all the way down to the Southlands, otherwise known as Mordor. And then even the goddamn Harfoots. What's all the Harfoots? Who are making all the decisions? Fucking women. They're all women. We only saw two male Harfoots. At least two that had actual fucking dialogue. That was Lenny Henry and Hobo Baggins, who was Nori Brandyfoot's father. And he was an idiot because he broke his ankle, and then he was the weak link of the entire Harfoots. Everyone else in the Harfoots were women, and when Lenny Henry died, when his character was killed, and it took him like fucking 10 minutes to die, who was the people who took up his mantle, even though they were already in charge, but now it was official? The women! All the women were now fully in charge. And this clown is saying, hey, why isn't there any women in the Rings of Power? Who's the one who gets selected to paint the king? Who then in turn finds the room and the seeing eye fucking thing? Oh, that's right. It's not just a woman. It's a made-up character in the world of Tolkien. It's the sister. Oh my good God. So she is going to be the one who finds and becomes pretty much a bit of a big bad in the next season. She's the one who the king gave the information to. She happens to be the one that gets first selected to paint the king as he's dying in bed. Bronwyn, the flower picker, leads the armies and is in charge. Why and how, don't know. All she literally was a flower picker. And all of a sudden, and by the way, what a great leader she was. She stood there and went, "Fight with me, we can win the day." And half the people went, "Yay!" And then in the next scene, she stood in front of all those people, talking with Don Lemonelf, and went, "Yeah, we're fucked. We should just give up." All these people are standing around hearing her say this, like, "Bitch, we just lay down our lives for you. We're just like, yeah, we'll stay and fight. And now you're talking about giving up." What a fantastic leader she is. Gladriel, the most unlikable fucktard of the entire show. Jesus Christ. It was basically her way or the highway because, let's not forget, she had a tempest in her and we have not seen what she had seen. Unfortunately, we fucking did. And let's not forget the first ever black female dwarf put in there to redress the balance. That's right, Disa, the woman who became a fucking Sith Lord by the end. She sitted out, man. Her eyes even had that yellow-red glow in them. She was the one telling whatever the goddamn dwarf's name was again. Can't remember. Don't care. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Him. She was the one telling him, "Screw your father. He doesn't understand. You go mind that Mithril. You go do it. And do it now. Because this kingdom will be ours. Power! Unlimited power!" You're like, Jesus Christ, bitch, relax. That is who was in charge. So basically, your leader for the dwarves was in fact Disa. Your leaders of all the armies and all the fucking going-ons in Middle Earth was Galadriel. The leaders of the human army was none other than a flower picker, Bronwyn. And the leader, so stunning and brave that when she went blind, put a blindfold on to convince people she wasn't blind. Yes. Was none other than Meriel, Queen Regent. And the one to find a seeing eye, being selected to paint the king and being given all the secrets from said dying king, was the made-up sister. But hey, there wasn't enough women in the goddamn show. And of course, the hobbits. The smelly hobo hobbits. Who basically... And let's not forget, the women with the hobbits were the ones who also said, "Hey, they're falling behind. Let's just take their wheels and fucking leave them to die." Pretty sure they hinted at eating them as well at one point. Not enough women, eh? Jesus Christ. I don't think poor James Moore would know a woman if it sat on his face. Which I'm sure he wishes would happen. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's the other way. Maybe he likes that old sausage. Anyway, I'll leave it there for this one. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.